Well, thanks for joining me for another session of Yin Yoga. For tonight, it could be useful to have a blanket. I just have one, maybe to place under the hips at some point, but it's not really necessary. And then clear some wall space and have your mat close to the wall. So do some legs at the wall, and some other relaxing poses with the wall as our main prop tonight. So let's start by coming to a comfortable seat on our mats. You could sit legs crisscross, one foot in front of the other. You could sit in thunderbolt pose with the heels underneath the hips, or you could lie down in Shavasana, whatever's most comfortable for you. So just arriving on your mat, finding your comfortable seat. You can place the hands palms down if you'd like to feel more grounded, more calming, or palms can be facing up. Index and middle fingers can touch. It's nice in the morning. Receive the energy for the day. Either one, if you'd like to feel energized, palms up, grounded, palms down. Finding an inhale, feeling the spine lengthen. And as you exhale, feel the shoulder blades gently fall down the back. Deepen the inhale. Lengthen the exhale. Inhale through the nose. Really fill the lungs. One more sip of air. And sigh out through the mouth. Making a little noise. We'll do that one more time. Inhale through the nose. Really fill the lungs with air. Finding one more sip. Pause. Exhale, sigh it out through the mouth. And taking a sigh whenever you need to help release a little tension from the body. And find your steady breath here. Inhaling deeply. Lengthening the exhale. Observe the sensations in the body. Notice any areas that feel tired or sore. Notice areas that feel well rested, feel tight. It's all just sensory information. Just being aware of your body and how it's feeling today. Bring your attention to the mind. Notice what thoughts are there. You're making a list. Replaying an event from the past in your mind. And just observe what's there, what's going on. It's normal for the mind to think. It's its job. For the next hour, releasing the thoughts, letting them fade into the background. As you inhale, feel yourself emerging from the thoughts. As you exhale, feel their hold releasing. The thoughts will always be there, but we can choose how much attention we give them. If there's a really persistent thought, label it thinking and try to let it go. And do that again. With practice, we become more adept at managing our thoughts, choosing what we give attention to. Bringing the hands to heart center in prayer, or placing the hands over the heart. And taking a moment to find gratitude for something in your life. Could be as small as making time for your yoga today. Be grateful for a morning cup of joe. I'm grateful for my assistant here behind me, Sweetie, a wonderful feline companion. Whatever it is you're grateful for, just take a moment to picture that in your mind. Good. Releasing the hands, gently opening the eyes, lifting your gaze. And we'll come into butterfly. So we'll just move the feet together in front of us. So heels touch, ball of foot touch, big toes touch. And then just adjust your hips. They can be closer to the ankles or further away. You can have a wide diamond shape from ankles to knees to hips. Or you can have a narrow diamond shape. I like to place the hands, the thumbs on the inner arches and just apply a little pressure there, gently massaging, helping to release. Just starting from a place where it's easy. I'm going to be here for a few minutes. So even if you don't feel an intense stretch, that's okay. In yin, it's a cumulative effect. So just noticing the sensations in the body, the rhythm of your breath. A soft downward gaze. Maybe you close the eyes if that feels comfortable. If it feels available to you, as you inhale, you can lengthen the spine, reaching up through the head. And as you exhale, maybe feel the chest fall forward just a little bit, keeping the spine straight. So you're hinging from the hips. So on the side, it'll look like this, so kind of a straight spine, not a slump. Just keeping the spine straight, easing down in front of you. Notice what the mind is doing. Is it telling you a story? That's okay. It's normal for our minds to try to distract us when we may experience physical discomfort. Label that story, thinking, release it. Observe the sensations of discomfort. Finding a steady breath to calm you. Be here for 10 more breaths. Inhale deeply. Lengthen the exhale. Inhale, gently opening the eyes, lifting the gaze. placing the hands one under each knee and lifting the knees up like you're closing a book. And we'll come up against our wall. Some people like to have a blanket or a cushion underneath the hips to give them a little boost or to cushion them. So if you're doing so, placing that next to the wall where your hips might go. No, sweetie, that's for me. It's cat approved. And just come sitting next to the wall. So legs parallel to your wall. We're gonna lean back on the elbow, excuse me. Leaning back on your elbow, on the right side. And the feet rotate up. The legs rotate up. Then you just kind of wiggle your way into your comfy position. The legs can be close together or a little further apart. The hips can be touching the wall, or there can be a bit of space between your hips and the wall. I like a little space, but both are good. We'll just be here for about 5 minutes. I know it seems like a long time, but legs up the wall is a really great pose, especially at the end of a long day. And don't feel like you can do anything. Looking at your toes, give them a little wiggle. Maybe you flex the feet, bring the toes towards you, pressing the heels away, and then releasing. And have the hands over the heart, or arms can be open out long on the shoulders, or elbows can be bent about 90 degrees, all these cactus arms. Or if you would like to get into the shoulder, you can reach the arms overhead, hands grab opposite elbows. Starting from a place that's easy, you can adjust throughout our time in this posture. Finding a deep inhale through the nose. Maybe sigh out through the mouth. Noticing the sounds around you. Noticing the mind, what's it doing? Just letting the thoughts, the lists, the memories fall into the background, like you're turning the volume down on music. Focus on your breathing. Observe the sensations on each inhale. The sensations as you exhale. And the space between each breath. Join 5 more deep breaths here. Letting the legs drop over to the side or bending the knees in towards the chest and rolling over to the side. Pressing up to seated. Extend the legs out long in front of you. We'll come into caterpillar. So with the legs straight, if you need to, you can bring a little cushion like your blanket under the knees if your knees need a little support. I like to inhale, lifting the arms up. Exhale, gently folding over the legs. Trying to keep the spine straight-ish, not rounded too much. And if you need to bend the knees, that's good. Be here for about 5 breaths. If it would feel better, you can lean back on hands. Maybe let the feet flop out. And from here, we'll go back up against the wall if the cat will let me. And placing your blanket, if you like a little bit of a support underneath the hips. And I'm going to have my blanket so I have a few inches, maybe like 6 inches between my hips and the wall, because I know that works for me. And again, just bringing the legs parallel to the wall. Leaning out onto the right arm for me. Back, legs go up. And you can just shimmy until you're in about the right place. So from here, just bending the knees in, bring the feet out wide, like you're coming into a squat. I like to place my hands, my forearms, like little kickstands underneath the thighs. Just moving the hips further away or closer to the wall. Letting the feet come down as far as is comfortable for you. Getting into muscles of the thighs, the hips here. Starting from a place that's easy and moving towards that threshold of discomfort that you might feel. Stretch starting. Or maybe you run into a place where there's a lot of tightness. Observing that discomfort. Being present with it. And then see if you can release some of that discomfort. You can experiment with the position of the hands. You can also come on the belly, out to the side, into the elbows, or reach overhead to grab opposite elbows. Observing your breathing. Finding a deep inhale through the nose. Pausing when the lungs are full. Take one more sip of air. Sigh it out through the mouth. You can do that whenever you want. Whenever you run into a spot of tension, sometimes a sigh can help release it. Letting the thoughts fall into the background, like you're turning the volume on the music down. When the thoughts persist to demand your attention, tell them not now. Enjoying 10 more breaths here. Placing the hands under the knees or on the outside of the legs for a little support. Extending the legs up the wall long. We'll come into a straddle pose or a wide-legged pose against the wall. Can feel nice. I like to have my hips a little bit closer to the wall. So if your hips were away, just pressing into the wall and scooting your hips a little closer. So straddle, first straddle. On an exhale, gently begin to open the legs out to the side. Place the hands on the outside of the legs for support if you need. And you can start with the legs closer together and gently let them open apart. Placing the hands over the heart, out to the sides. A gentle gaze, or you can close the eyes. Observing the sensations in the legs. Starting from a place where it's easy, moving towards a place where you begin to experience discomfort. Pausing, questioning those sensations. Is that discomfort, pain? Which is your body telling you something isn't working? Or is it discomfort, like an area of tightness, an area that's been ignored? And giving that area a little more attention. Is there anything you could do that would make you 1% more comfortable? Noticing the sensations in the body, from feet to the ankles, thighs, hips, shoulders touching the ground, parts of the body not touching the ground or the wall. Noticing the thoughts in the mind. Enjoying 10 more breaths here as you turn the volume down on your thoughts. And focus on your breathing. Noticing the sensations on the inhale and on the exhale. Drawing the arms in, placing the hands underneath the thighs, gently bending the knees, and drawing the legs closer together. So the legs are straight up against the wall. Bring that left heel, the left ankle across it over the right thigh, just above the knee. Staying here, or bring the right foot flat against the wall. We'll gently bring that left thigh closer to your chest. Notice the sensation in the left hip. And find that spot where you begin to feel a stretch. Sometimes I find it helps to bring that left hand, use it like a kickstand to support my left thigh. The left foot can have a gentle flex in it. The toes gently pointing towards the left knee, like 1% effort. If you look at the legs, you'll notice they make a shape like the number 4. So we're supine, even on our spines, on our backs, figure 4. You can also do this pose away from the wall. If you'd like to invite a little more sensation in that left hip, bring the right foot further down the wall. Maybe it's just a centimeter. And maybe you need to ease off. With the right foot up the wall, the left knee away from you. Some say the hips store all of our emotional baggage. They're like the emotional junk drawers. But we also use our hips a lot for sitting, walking in our day. I think it's normal for the hips to get, those muscles to get tight. So noticing what arises in the mind as you experience sensations of physical discomfort in the hips. Observe without judgment. Curiously observing what comes up in the mind. Maybe you're replaying an event from the week, wondering if you could have done something differently. Just releasing it. Doesn't matter, it's in the past. Only 10 more breaths here. And extending the right leg up the wall, the left leg moving away, keeping this figure 4 shape. You'll come into a twist. So if you have the wall space, one option is you drop this shape, so the left foot and the right leg over to the right side. And then you move your torso. So your whole back is against the wall. And that left leg comes over, coming into a twist. So using the wall to lengthen the spine against. If you don't quite have
the wall space, coming onto your mat. And taking the left knee, the left leg over to the right side. Opening the arms and coming into a simple twist. If this feels intense on the left hip, draw the right knee underneath the left. Stack the legs, coming into a simple 2-knee twist. Gaze can be towards the right arm. If you're against the wall, gaze can be up. Or if you're on your mat away from the wall, looking over the left. Observing the sensations in the spine, the hips. Each inhale, imagine the spine is getting a little longer. With each exhale, releasing a tiny bit of tension. Inhale, a sense of ease. Exhale, and releasing anything that doesn't serve you. Option to close the eyes or soft downward gaze. Be here for about 5 more breaths. Lifting the gaze up, open the eyes. We'll move back up against the wall. So to do that, begin to lift the left knee, bring the right knee to that ankle, and gently bring the torso out to the side and lift the legs up against the wall. And then maybe you need to adjust your position, so I'll just bend my knees, gently press the feet into the wall, lifting my hips until they're in just the right position. So we were in figure 4, that left ankle crossed over the right thigh. We'll extend the left leg long. Cross the right ankle over the left thigh, just above the knee. Maybe you flex the right toes, 1% effort towards the right knee. And just let that right leg fall into figure 4 shape. I like to place the right hand underneath the right thigh, maybe on the outside a little bit, a little support. Staying here. 4. Pressing the left foot against the wall, bending the left knee, and drawing that shape towards you. And you might find you need to move the hips away. To do so, you just press into the foot, press that left foot into the wall, lift your hips, and move them forward or back as you need. And moving the footing, the left foot into the right position on the wall, just where you begin to feel a little bit of discomfort in the right hip, just where that stretch begins. I like to have both hands on the thighs. You can have the arms stretched out wide, alongside the body. Just find a comfortable position for yourself. Noticing the sensations that arise, observing them without judgment. Checking in with the mind, bringing your attention there. Observing what thoughts are there. As you exhale, turning the music down on the thoughts, turning the volume down on the thoughts. Maybe picking one thought to release as you exhale. Is there something you could do to make yourself a little more comfortable? Maybe moving the left foot up or down, or the left or to the right. Drawing a few more breaths here. Extending the left leg up the wall. That right knee moves away from you. Extending keeping that right leg crossed over in that figure 4 shape. We'll come into our twist. So dropping that figure 4 shape, the left leg, the right foot over to the left side. And you'll feel your back needing to move towards the wall, or just coming up against the wall. Trying to lengthen your spine against the wall. That right knee coming over into a nice twist. That right arm be resting on top of the right side. Or if this doesn't work for you, just coming onto your mat. That right knee and lifted, falling over to the left side. That right arm can open out to the side. If this is too intense, bringing that left knee underneath the right for a little bit of support. Try to get that right shoulder to touch the ground. Gazing up or looking right. So if you're against the wall, try to feel like your spine is lengthening parallel to the wall. That right knee can be bent, or you could extend the leg out long. Observing the sensations in the body. Tuning into your breath. Deepening the inhale. Lengthening the exhale. Few more breaths here. And we'll lift up those legs, coming back into our figure four shape against the wall. So to do that, just move my torso out a little bit and let that right foot drop. And lift the left leg. And just pivot up, swinging the legs up. And moving my torso out to the side. So I'm now perpendicular to the wall. I'll extend that right leg long. Maybe flex the toes towards you and away. Notice how the legs feel. And we'll come into a wall arch now. So as we'll come onto our shoulders, which can feel really nice. And if it doesn't feel nice, I will offer a modification. So for our wall arch, bring the feet down the wall, knees kind of bent. And you may need to move the shoulders, the torso away from the wall, the hips away from the wall. And the feet should be about, maybe 3 feet up the wall. The wall is kind of short, but So pressing into the feet, lifting the hips up away from the ground, letting the arms come alongside. Pressing up onto the shoulders, gazing down your sternum, down the nose. Now, if this doesn't feel good, release the hips down. And what you'll do is come into a bridge. So rolling up your blanket, bringing the feet close to the hips, pressing into the heels, lifting the hips, and placing a blanket underneath your hips. You'll just come into a bridge. For those of you doing the wall arch option, pressing into the shoulders, the arms alongside the body, lifting the hips up, eventually coming into a shoulder stance. So what you'll do is you'll extend one leg long, looking at your toes, lower that leg, bring it towards your face, just as far as you can go. Steady breathing here. Lifting that left leg, the right leg up, bending the knee, bringing the foot against the wall. Other side, straighten the left leg. Looking at your left toes, staying here, or dropping the left leg towards the face. Pressing into that right foot against the wall. Noticing the sensations in the back of the left leg. Inhale to lift the left leg, bending the knee, bringing the left foot back to the wall. Staying here, or if you want, you can take a break, lowering the hips down to the ground. Last part of our wall arch. So, pressing, if you took a break, pressing into the feet to lift the hips, coming onto the shoulders. Lifting one leg, lowering it towards the face. Lifting the other, lifting it back up. Planting the foot against the wall. Other leg, straighten. Lower the leg towards your face. Lift the leg up and bring the foot back to the wall. Option to come into Plow Pose. So if you're doing so, I like to bring the hands underneath the hips. We'll lift one leg, gently bring it towards the face. It's okay if that left foot doesn't touch the ground. Lifting the other leg straight. Lowering it over your face, both legs over the face. Maybe one day the feet will touch the ground as you come into Plow Pose. Gazing at your sternum, through the legs. Noticing the sensations in the back of the thighs. And when you've had enough, lifting one leg towards the wall and the other. Removing the hands and lowering your hips down. Good. Dropping your knees over to your side. We'll just come onto our back and we'll do a few windshield wipers. So if you're in a bridge pose, pressing into the feet to lift the hips and moving your imaginary blanket out to the side and lowering the hips. In both cases, we're doing a back bend. So dropping the knees to the right. Inhale, lift them up through center, drop them to the left as you exhale. Inhale, lifting up through center. Exhale, drop them to the right. Inhale, lift them through center. Exhale, drop them to the left. Moving just like this, like they're windshield wipers. Wiping away. Hands can be over the heart or arms open to the sides. Moving just like this, left and right with the rhythm of your breath. Pausing with the knees up and center. And get ready for Shavasana, extending the legs long. Bringing the hands out to either side of the body. Gently tucking the shoulders underneath the back maybe. Find that helps me to open the chest. Gently closing the eyes for a soft downward gaze. Relaxing the tongue away from the roof of the mouth. Relaxing the jaw. Feeling the back of the head heavy. Imagine you open a little trap door and all the excess thoughts just tumble out. Feeling the arms heavy against the floor. Space is not touching the floor. Hips. Both thighs relaxing. Calves releasing. And the feet gently opening up to either side. Enjoying these next few minutes in stillness and quiet. And I'll bring you back to conclude our practice together in just a few minutes. Focusing on your breath. Deepen the inhale. Lengthen the exhale. An invitation to enjoy a sigh if you choose. Having a deep inhale through the nose. One more sip of air. Hold. Exhale, sigh out through the mouth. Make a little noise.
becoming aware of your breathing. You're welcome to stay in Shavasana as long as you like. Or if you're ready to conclude the practice, please join me. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Bending the knees, drawing your feet towards the hips. Rolling onto your favorite side into the fetal position. Enjoy your breath. Inhale, pressing up to seated. The eyes closed or soft downward gaze. Bringing the hands to heart center. Gently bowing the head in a gesture of gratitude for making time for your practice today. Recalling something you're grateful for. Rubbing the hands together, very little feet. Place the palms over the eyes. Gently open the eyes. Release the palms out to either side. Inhale, reaching the arms up. Gaze up. Hands meet. Exhale. Draw the hands to heart center. Namaste. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Just going to stop the recording here.